Welcome to the Church of What's Happening Now. The church, it's brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies makes feel-good undies your butt would be proud to wear. They'll be the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll ever own. With tons of styles and patterns to choose from for both men and ladies, MeUndies will have the perfect fit for any personality. I got about 1,000 of them. I love them. I got all different colors. When I wear them with a white gi, people ask me, why do you have butterflies on your underwear? I could care less. They're the softest. It controls the sweat in your nutsack. They're tremendous. Do me a favor. To get 20% off the best and softest underwear and socks you'll ever own, free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Joey. That's MeUndies.com/Joey. Number 2, do you know where to post your job to find the best candidate? Are you hiring? You know that quality hires keep your business moving forward, but you also know it can take a lot of time to find the right candidates for your job. With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to over 100 web leading job boards with just one click, so you can rest easy knowing your job is being seen by the right candidates. What I'm going to do is this. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by growing businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter. You ready? Free. That's right. Free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time. It's free. ZipRecruiter.com/church. You're going to be happy that you did. Kick this mule, Lee. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joe here on a beautiful Monday night in Los Angeles. Lee Syatt's here. What up, G?
I'm doing good. Janet Jackson was actually my first concert at 5th grade or something. My dad got tickets to the it used to be the it's called the TD Garden now. It used to be called the Fleet Center. And we were up in the way back. I don't think I'd even heard of Janet Jackson.
At the Fleet Center?
Celtics and okay. Bruins. Now it's called the Garden. It's again called the Garden. But yeah, she's I almost wish I could have seen something she's part of a dynasty. Her family is a dynasty.
It's it's crazy that I saw them. I mean, I'm a little younger than Michael, maybe by a year or two.
Really?
He's dead. But I still remember walking on Times Square and making my godfather buy me the ABC album. I mean, I still remember bringing it home and listening to it and singing and dancing like a fucking lunatic that night.
Was it different back then? Because now there's a lot of kids' TV shows and there's kids online. But back then, were there child stars? Your age?
All right, so TV had 3 fucking channels. When I came from Cuba, TV had 3 channels, and you had Telemundo and Univision. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Child stars, I don't really like the Osmonds. Remember we had a thing here one time with the Osmonds and the Jacksons, and then you had individual little guys that were on Team Beat David Cassidy and shit like that. That's who was around when I was around. I didn't really look at fucking little boys league.
Right. No, I
have no fucking idea. I want to thank the people of Tampa and the surrounding areas, Miami, for coming out to the Tampa Improv. I had a fucking blast. Like I said, some guy brought me a fucking Black Sabbath Paranoid album. The cover's busted up, but the fucking album's in great shape. My friend Gino brought me a fucking a Black Label Society CD that's tremendous. It was just a great time. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. Florida is such a different fucking place. They had chickens walking around and shit all over the city. I was smoking a joint one time, taking a little walk like at 6 in the morning.
Right.
And there was chickens fucking cacao all morning and shit because it was still dark out. The first morning I got to do radio, I had to get up. I got up at 5 like an asshole that I am.
There were chickens near. Like I just imagine you in like a city.
Chickens on the streets. Well, this is Ybor City.
Okay.
Very a lot of history. Really, the Pirates were there. Like not the Pittsburgh Pirates, but like real pirates were there. It's Santo Traficante's town. Tampa, it's a mafia town.
You always hear about like how Texas is its own country almost, but like Florida's has so many different areas. Like each city is different. Like Orlando's kind of like Burbank, essentially. It's like Disney and kind of seems cool. And then where my dad lives, like literally, I'm surprised they have schools, but I don't see any children. It's like all 90-year-old retirement communities. And then, like, you hear about Miami, which is college kids and, like, all the pretty people. Florida is really... Do you ever do a lot of... Because you've done so many gigs everywhere. Were you all over Florida?
No.
No?
I've only been to Jacksonville to do comedy. Tampa, this is the second time. Miami.
Really?
West Palm. Yeah, that's... I'm not going all over the fucking state. That's a big-ass fucking state like Texas also.
Oh.
It was funny. Last night, I called you or you called me. And for the first time, you were watching 60 Minutes.
Yeah, oh my God.
And it was about the opioid epidemic and how the big farm and how the DEA, the guy stopped prosecuting cases and shit.
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh, I saw that. It was amazing.
When an American watches that, that's patriotic and really believes in the system, like a guy like yourself, it kind of breaks you in a way. Like me, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch the first season of Narcos or the second season of Narcos, and they explained what happened in '85. I lived through that. So unless you're a fucking moron, you really don't know. They were having a problem getting ether into Colombia.
Right.
Plus, at that time, I don't know if it was one of the Bushes declared war on Colombia. So by that time, the Narcos had pulled their cocaine and were developing in labs in Cuba.
Holy shit.
And they were paying Fidel $800,000 a shipload for cocaine that they would ship into the fucking States, but they were making $60 million a day.
Right.
They give a fuck about $800,000 payment. So the same thing happened. They got tougher on it because they wanted in. If you remember in Narcos, he goes, maybe they wanted, or maybe they just wanted a piece of the pie.
I mean, and this is, we'll get back to 60 Minutes, but I also have seen stories that now Pablo's son is saying that his dad was working for the CIA and the DEA. Does any part of you believe that's true?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
He's dead. What do I give a fuck? Well, if he says he was working for the CIA, listen, in today's fucking world, you never know. And in that world, when there's that much money involved,
right,
that much money involved, there's always a by the way, or you have to assume there has to be. I mean, if you remember in Narcos, they said that they caught him on the tarmac of loading a plane in Nicaragua.
Right.
So they were doing business with communists, Who knows what the fuck they were doing? Then they caught Oliver North. I mean, when it comes to the CIA and all those topics, it's like a big question mark.
Well, it's sort of the same thing, like how you were talking about the DEA. And you were right. I consider myself patriotic. I don't have a flag. Like I don't consider myself extra patriotic, but
you grew up. You believe in the system.
Right, exactly.
You believe in the system's here to protect you, and you believe that the system is here to make the best decisions it can for you. But in the long run, you see something like the 60-minute interview last night.
Both of them.
One guy that became a lawyer and shit, but that was interesting. 60 Minutes, I've been watching this since I was a kid. Because you could sit there and give a fuck about all the news in the world, or you could just cut through the chase. Give me 3 stories that are interesting to me, and I'll get 2 out of 3 of them to be interesting. That's why you always DVR them, because you could speed through the second one, or when that old fuck is doing an interview or something like that. But it's it comes at you from a different perspective.
And they do such a professional job on it. You hear a lot now about blogs. There's a lot more journalism out there than there used to be. But when you see 60 Minutes, it, like, for me, I don't know, it just seemed more professional than a lot of the other news that you see nowadays. And to me, and you're right, I believe in the government. I want to. It's not even as much as I do. It's that I hope, I wish that I could. And to hear that they're all it boils down to is money.
I mean, I don't want to cause no problems.
Right,
here,
no.
But how does a guy like you feel about something like the Kennedy assassination? When you grow up with that and I looked at it, I'm not here to judge nobody.
Right.
I don't know if he could shoot. What the fuck do I know? I was maybe 3 when it happened, or 10 months old. I fucking don't know.
It was so much history. Like, I don't even remember, in the 60s, right? 66?
63, 66, I don't fucking know. But the thing is that you look at something like that and they keep telling you our government did it. And it's like the Catholics. It's like with me with Catholicism. When I look at an article and it says an archbishop got transferred because he raped 70 kids,
right,
in my heart I don't really want to believe it. But it's the truth. And it's the same thing with government to some people, like it was to me. I also believed in the government. But growing up in North Bergen, I saw corruption in such a micro level
yeah,
that I knew if this was it at the micro level, I can't imagine what it is at the macro level. And it's like I was telling my wife, when you're at the macro level, you get donations from corporations and industries that sway your decision, what's a donation? A legal bribe.
Right, yeah.
That's what a donation basically is to a fucking whatever.
Especially at that level.
Bribe.
It's not like $500.
I love you so much, I'm going to give you $1 million.
Yeah.
It's because in a year from now, I'm going to try to pass a fucking thing, and you're going to okay it for that $1 million I gave.
And not even okay it. This is the part that I had just no idea about. Like, they were talking about lobbyists and all that, and they were saying, like, one of the former lawyers for the DEA who switched over, which is...
He wrote the fucking Marino bill.
How do you write the bill?
How do you write the fucking bill for like a...
I thought
opiates?
senators had to do that or something.
Yeah, and then, he probably wrote it, got it passed, through things like that.
Yeah, he just gave it to the dude.
And then, a year later, he was working for a big pharma guy, and they showed videos of this guy... not lobbying. Yeah, he was...
Well, no, yeah, that was before, because he was a DA, and then when he got fired or quit,
right, no, he
quit. He made like an advertisement for himself.
He made an advertisement for himself saying that if you have a company and the DEA is up your ass, he'll come and get him out of your ass.
And that's when, he did the Marino bill after he was at the DEA.
Now, let me ask you this.
Right.
Did your girlfriend watch this?
No, she was at the Dodger game.
It's pretty interesting that you see how they're on one side of the law.
Right.
For 15 fucking years, giving it everything, and one day it all goes out the window. It's just like an actor. It's just like De Niro. It's just like a fighter. You believe in the system for so long, and then one day you go, what do I give a fuck? Just give me the fucking... I'm quitting this shit, and I'm going to go make 10 times what I was making here.
For less work.
For less work, and I don't get shot at, and I wear suits, and I go to expensive fucking lunches, and people take me out to lunch. That's when you come out of law school or any other thing, you come out so gung-ho, you're going to save the world and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then you see your cohorts driving fucking, Maseratis and taking 6 weeks vacation, and you're still working for the city, prosecuting fucking gangbangers and fucking whatever.
Right,
what are you going to do after a while? Same thing. You've already learned the loopholes of the system. Now you're going to go open up your own attorney and fucking... and exploit those loopholes. That's what it basically is. You're switching governments, and now you exploit those loopholes for a fucking tremendous salary and a tremendous living. I fight 10 fights. I'm hurt. You know what? I know I'm fucking stuttering. I know I'm hearing Chinese people yelling at night when I'm trying to take a shower. Fuck it. I'm going to take 10 more fights at $250,000 a fight. I don't care if I get beat up, as long as my family has a couple million when I die. What do I give a fuck? Same thing happens to actors. I'm 58. I bought into this fucking acting bullshit. And what did it get me? It got me 2 Oscars, and I got beat by fucking some monkey one fucking year. That an animated monkey. You know what? Fuck you. I'm doing every shit script there is. I'm calling it in. And that's how I'm going to go out. And a lot of people think that's De Niro's reasoning now. I don't really agree. I just think that there's a bunch of shitty movies coming out.
But it's amazing what we do for money and how that's all it really boils down. And there's people out there who don't. There are some people who just do it for the love of it, and they almost get made fun of. It's almost like, look at this idiot who actually cares about stuff.
I know me as a comedian. I was having a lot better time when I was doing comedy for free. Now I'm considered a professional.
Right, yeah.
And there's so many check things on the list before I go on stage. And it's so sad how so many people that are around my life don't understand those checklists. You understand that maybe, but like friends of mine, like a friend of mine came up from Clearwater that I dated. And she said it. She goes, when we were sitting there at the end of the show, she told her boyfriend, she goes, you know, it's really weird to see that I still remember seeing Joey emceeing in Colorado. And now, 20 years later, he's the fucking headliner. And not just the headliner. She said it to me. She goes, it's amazing to really see. But she goes, I also remember how you stuck to it. She goes, the reason we broke up is because you stuck to this. You knew that was what you wanted. She goes, you didn't want to go out at night. You didn't want to do anything. This was it for you. And she goes, it was great for 2 years, but then it got really old that you were that serious about it. And it was a compliment to me. You know, I was fucking 38 or something. I had nothing going on in my life. And she was a party girl. So every other week she had a family member coming out here. She always had a friend from college coming out here. They stayed with us, and to top it off, we have to entertain. And she would get mad at me, like, we're going to Venice. Have a good time. I got a show tonight. I'm not fucking going to Venice. I'm going to the store to hang out. There might be a fallout. I can make $15. Or I could just get that much better. She didn't fucking understand that.
It's hard. I don't think a lot of people have something they're that passionate about.
Well, you have to be that passionate and that driven to really excel in your field. And people don't know that that's the dedication level that you have to really excel in your field, whether you're an attorney, whether you're, at any level. If I'm an attorney and I keep dicking around and I keep making wrong choices my first 2 or 3 years, here he is. Cassius.
Joey Coco Diaz, what's going on?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm fantastic. Lee, how you doing? I thank you guys so much for having me on tonight.
Hey, buddy, good to hear from you.
You know, we like to do our yearly checkup with our little brother fucking Cassius up there in Canada running things.
Oh, well, thank you, man. It's been a lot of fun out here. The podcast over on you guys' end has been going fantastic, too. The Action Bronson episode was killer, man.
Yeah, we're trying, man. You know, there, as a podcaster yourself, you know that there's valleys, there's peaks and valleys, and you have to capitalize on the fucking peaks, and every once in a while you got to bump into a valley, and you keep plugging, you stay consistent, you stay on top of social media just like you do, and everything works itself out, man. I mean, you're doing a fucking fantastic job over there.
Well, I really appreciate that, Joey. I mean, you're right. I mean, when you're doing the podcast, it's always that ebb and flow. I find that the easy part is initially piquing people's interest. The hard part is keeping it, and that's where the persistence that you just mentioned comes in. Like, you really got to be working at this every day, and if you're not, it's simply not going to work out. You got to put your all into it.
When you just called in, we were talking about dedication. Like when I moved here in '97, I had a girlfriend, and she was a dancer. You know, she was a stripper, and she made money, and she wanted to do different things on the weekends. And I'm like, that's not my game. I didn't move to LA to go camping on Saturday and Sunday. I don't give a fuck what the fucking the ocean looks like. I moved here to become a comic. And eventually that and a lot of other things broke us up. But she came to see me Saturday night, and after the show, that's what she said. She goes, at one point, she goes, I still remember you being coked out, sending envelopes out. Like, I'd be up doing blow till 5 a.m, licking envelopes for free fucking movies and agents. It was nonstop. But what people don't understand, and she said it, she goes, I didn't understand it then. Now, I would tell everybody to attack things the way you attack them. And that's how you have to attack things, and that's how you're attacking them.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I realized after, when I was a little younger, like I took a hiatus from podcasting in general, and I just really realized how much of a hit that is to you. And I also realized, this past year, how much distractions can do you in, like you said. You got to avoid those kinds of situations, man. I mean, it's really, really difficult, but again, it's all about that focus.
It's funny because you call it a distraction, but most people go, Joey, Cassius, you're fucking party poopers. There's a huge party. Everybody's going to be there Saturday. All our friends are going to be there. What do you mean you have a podcast at 8 o'clock? Well, I have a podcast at 8 o'clock, or Def Leppard's coming to town. So can't you blow off Def Leppard and go see them in Ontario or something else? And you're like, no, they're playing here. Mm-hmm. I want to interview the fucking drummer with the one arm, and that's the only time I could do it. So fuck you and your fucking party. And people think you're antisocial, or people think that you're, I don't know what the saying is, like a party pooper or something. But the bottom line is, if this is what you want to do, this is what you have to do. This is it. Yeah. There's no fucking thinking about it. There's no feeling sorry for your girlfriend. And when you have a girlfriend, you have to fill her in from the beginning. Right. Like, that's the big mistake that a lot of guys make. In the beginning, they hook up with somebody like the pussy, and then they're like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And then 3 months goes by, you've already violated that pussy 80 times. It's time for you to go back out in the jungle and do comedy or play music or interview rock stars like you do. And now you're a bad guy. You've changed. No, I never changed. So if you nip that shit in the bud from day one, they know exactly what time it is. Whether you're dating a girl or a boy, I don't fucking know anymore. So I'm not talking about you, Cassius. I just don't want people to think that.
I was going to say, you know what's up with me, Joey.
Yeah, I know you're a dick slinger, you little dirty bastard. I see you on there kissing and hugging and shit.
Well, Cassius,
not anymore.
I just want to get right to it. I mean, at least for me, my question, tell me about getting Gene Simmons on, because I just can't eat. Like, I remember I've seen pictures of you since I started with Joey. That was 6 years ago, and I think you've been doing podcasting for like 7 or 8 now, and you've always loved Kiss. Yeah. So I can't. I just want to hear about. That's what I want to hear about.
It was an insane thing, Lee. I mean, like, I showed up to the expo. I'd been trying for, close to, I think it's 8 or 9 years now to get the interview. And I've been told by, like, members of KISS. They said, listen, Gene's never going to do this, man. Like, we understand that you really want him on. He's not going to do it. And when I came to the expo, I had a media pass to the expo that he was signing at. And they even told me, Gene is not doing an interview. And then finally, somebody who works for the band, who shall remain nameless, of course, actually gave me the chance to send a formal email request and have it sent to Gene's personal inbox so he could decide. So after, 8.5 some years, finally it came down to Gene, and he saw it and he liked it, and he personally responded to the email and he said he would be happy to say hello and do the interview. So I called the expo. I said, listen, you guys got something twisted right now. I'm doing this interview. And they said, fine, it's Gene's choice. And it was one of the best days of my life. Honestly, it was really a dream come true. When
I saw it, I was so fucking happy for you. And then I saw it on Six, on Nikki Sixx's show, and a lot of people were retweeting and shit, I was like, oh my God, this kid hit the fucking jackpot. But this is because he's been at it for 8 or 9 fucking years. Most people would have believed it and given up.
Yeah. And there's no easy way into it.
It was one of your dreams to interview him, right?
It's literally why I started. When I was like 9.5 some years old, I heard a podcast about Kiss, and they ended up interviewing members of the band, and I said, I want to start and eventually interview Gene Simmons or Paul Stanley. And that's why I even started podcasting. So after all this time, it feels insane. But the thing about it is that as much as it is great and it's a big accomplishment for me, I only view it as the beginning. So like now I kind of take the last 9 years and rip up the drawing board, and it's just time to restart. I'm not trying to, be flying too high off of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying, but at a certain point, and I think a lot of people who are creative have this issue, is they don't give themselves enough credit sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, like, obviously, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, I interviewed Gene Simmons, I'll never interview anyone else. But it's also, I think it's important to acknowledge what you've done. I don't know. That's what
I'm acknowledging it. I think you've been on a great run. I've seen you interview other people, and this one was the cherry. Now, yeah, you're right. Now you're on to bigger and bigger fucking things,
Right. And I mean, like, I'm certainly appreciative of every single thing. Like, I still interview people that people haven't even heard of at this point, just because I'm a fan of what they do and I want to help tell their story. So, I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate it and I'm kind of trying to gloss over it. It's just that, again, distractions. I feel like if I, sit here and get fat eating thinking about the fact that I interviewed Gene Simmons, it's going to distract me from interviewing the next guy. But it does feel good. Like, the past 2 years, it's been hard, man. I mean, I've been banging on the door of all these celebrities. Like, I've been going for Drake, I've been going for Wiz Khalifa, big guys, and for 2 years straight, I was just getting no's to everybody at a certain point. And it pays off to be persistent. That's what I would tell people, really.
Like, if you watched this morning's or yesterday's Periscope, I said, listen, every fucking no you get leads to a yes.
Yes.
I love when I get no's, because every fucking no, eventually you're going to bump into a motherfucking yes. Mm-hmm. So that's been my thing since I started comedy. I was like, people are going to say no to me. You know what? But I know the more they say no, eventually I'll come closer to my yes. And brother, I've lived it, so I can see now that you're living it. It feels good to be a gangster. Who's coming up there?
From you, it means a lot.
Yeah. Who's going up there the next couple months you're thinking of putting requests in for?
Well, the next big one is coming up on October 24th, and it is, you're going to love this,
Tuesday
Roger
night.
Waters.
Oh, shit.
That's right. 2 shows.
What did you think so far? What has he said so far?
I haven't gotten a response yet. I only fired off one email, but that was even before Gene Simmons came on. So I think now that that's happened, if I can find someone, catch their ear to put in a request, it might happen, because he's been doing a lot of interviews. This is a legendary tour for me, like with Trump in office and everything, and he's doing all the political stuff. I mean, this is going to be a highlight of my youth, so I can't wait for this.
Good. What are you doing for work now? When I contacted you last week, you have a job now.
Yeah, I'm working full time, at least 8 hours a day. So it's not too bad. It's at a liquor store, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, I deal with the theft, I deal with a lot of that kind of stuff, but it's steady hours, and you just got to be careful. Watch yourself.
And are you still taking classes at all, anything?
I'm finished with the Nate stuff right now. That's what I was doing over here in Edmonton. It was like a 6.5 month program. It was pretty intensive. Just like, I learned how to work a soundboard in a radio station, and just the mechanics behind the scenes, as well as new on-air techniques. So it was super, super helpful. And I have the option to go into like a 2-year full intensive course for it. But I even asked the instructor of the course, and he said he doesn't really think it's necessary at this point.
No, I think you got more experience than most of the guys that are there now. I mean, you're fucking living
right.
It, Is that what you want to do, stuff with soundboards? And
well, I want to take it to a level where I can kind of branch out and make income off a lot of different things. I want to be on some kind of television or serious radio station doing interviews, also doing comedy stuff, funny bits. I also want to branch out my photography, because I photograph concerts a lot now as well. That's a really good way to make cash. Just these kinds of things. I want to be able to branch out to 6 or 7 different things. That's really the plan.
Have you connected with Mauricio Alvarado yet?
I haven't heard that name before.
He was on the podcast the last time Dean Delray was on, and he is you here. I have respect. Really? I have as much respect for him as I have for you, because every month these guys start at zero, and they're taking pictures and they're selling pins. So he went into the pin business. Like, those pins you stick on your jean jacket or on a leather jacket, and it says like Black Sabbath, Master Reality.
Take him back. Yeah, I was just going to say, take him back to the Sabbath days.
Right. So he did all of them, and he connected with Sabbath now. So he's working with Sabbath on those pins, And, you know, when I talk to you, when I see what you're doing, and I see what he's doing, it's like too big. You guys are both on the same path. He takes fucking phenomenal pictures. Then he does an interview. Then he does a blog.
Holy.
And it's like the full fucking experience. He's always...
I will definitely have him on my show. No problem.
Yeah. No. But I think you guys should connect on a business level.
Okay.
You guys could be fucking international and huge.
Wow.
I mean, that's how...
I mean, if it's coming from you, I'll do it.
No. I think you guys are on the same path. I think you guys join fucking forces. He's young. He's a long-haired fucking Mexican-Cuban kid who's out. Listen, he's out 6 nights a week. I think tonight he was going to see Depeche Mode. You know, he's
really out there.
Yeah, he's out there. He's out every fucking night. Press passes for... He brings me shit to the Comedy Store. I still got his Tony Iommi pictures from the Hollywood Bowl. He just sent me Judas Priest did something at the Whiskey without Glenn Tipton. And he sent me a few pictures. I mean, he's just a dynamite fucking kid, man. But you and him together, ooh, it's like the fucking Medellin cartel.
That's beautiful, man. I'll definitely reach out to him. Absolutely.
What's going on?
If you're listening right now, man, hit me up.
Okay, what's going on with the girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend at this time.
Who was that girl I saw you hugging up with and playing Harvey Weinstein with on fucking Facebook?
That was my girlfriend of 2 years. I decided to end the relationship about a month and a half ago. I don't have too much comment. I mean, it's difficult to manage a lot of things in your life, especially when you're pursuing a dream. So that's really that.
How old are you now?
I'm 19, actually, on November 5th.
Where do you get your clarity from?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
19, you're full of hormones. Somebody's licking your nuts once a week and you're eating that asshole. And out of nowhere, you decide to stop dating them because you want to pursue your career. You know how many kids your age do that?
I mean, but it took me a long time, to be fair. I kind of went off the map for like 3 months.
Okay, because you were in love or because...
Big time.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that for a guy your age. So once you fell in love, you said, this is a little too deep. I still love Black Sabbath more, or Kiss more, or Gene Simmons more.
Yeah. I mean, it really went super deep with her. And one of the main things that, I mean, she was really, it wasn't even that. She was dragging me down to a big point, to where it was impossible to get any work done, get any episodes done. Needed that constant attention. And when I was flying to Halifax for my vacation, because while I was on that vacation across the country, we ended up breaking up. I listened to you and Steve Simone and Lee, and you did the podcast, and you were talking about sacrifices. And that hour conversation pretty much changed my life at the time. It was like, it really opened my eyes to what needed to be done. Like, it's not a compromise, and there's no time for compromise. So that's what needed to be done.
You know, I'm really happy that you took that conversation to heart. I mean, I'm sorry that you made you break up with your fucking girlfriend. I never liked doing something like that. Or
it wasn't working anyway.
No, and I understand it. But that word to me means so much. But to so many fucking people, they don't ever in their life want to go there. And it scares me how a person wouldn't want to sacrifice for what the fuck they love.
Yeah. I mean, you don't love it that much, clearly. That's what that tells me. It's like you either want to love it or you feel like people think you should love it. But if you love it, there shouldn't even be any hesitation at all.
You know, it's I'm writing this book. I'm putting these chapters together, and I put the proposal together. The proposal is done. Thank you, church family, for fucking believing in me. I'm going to send it to Gordon tomorrow or Wednesday and get the notes on how I'm no fucking Hemingway, which I don't give a fuck. I'm happy that I stuck to it and did it. For the first time in 3 years, I stuck to my fucking commitment. It took me 3 years.
Beautiful.
To take 2.5 months off, 3 to 4 hours a day, correcting shit, you know, just to do this. But right now, I'm just writing, just to continue 1,000 words a day. And today I was writing something that I don't think I should tell you guys, but I have to. I was writing about 1995 and how I had nothing in my life except this little girl that was 5 years old and comedy. For the first time in my life, since the age of 16, something had fucking worked. And it was comedy. Did I have high hopes of being Bill Burr or Louis C.K.? I never thought I'd make it to L.A. But I knew thousands of guys that never went to L.A. that were still making a living on the road. They weren't getting real rich, but at least they weren't stealing or snorting coke. And that's all I wanted.
But when you started comedy, did you love it yet? Or were you just doing it as like a job? Like, at what point did you love it?
No, I loved it the first time I got on stage.
Wow.
Like, after I got off, I knew that was it. I had been high on 20 different types of drugs, and I had never felt anything like that. And I didn't do well. I didn't do well, Cassius. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I got to stand. No. I was talking about Godzilla and dinosaurs. But I knew there was something there. And I knew that if I stuck with it, that I could probably make a living and sell CDs on the road and live in a car like Charles Bronson. I knew I would make money at it. But at one point, I had nothing in Boulder. I mean, when I tell you I had nothing in Boulder, I had nothing. I had a job. I had a job that if I wanted to stay, I could probably make about $60,000 a year. But I didn't want to do that job. Everybody that did that job ended up fucked up because it was a bad karma job, and I knew it. So all I had was that little fucking beautiful 5-year-old girl and stand-up comedy. And I had to go with the stand-up comedy because I was just doing her wrong by being there. We were creating too much havoc. But stand-up to me, when I made that decision, I knew I was on to something. But that was one of the biggest. That sacrifice cost me 4 or 5 years of my life for crying myself to sleep every night. But that was what it would take to get to where I wanted to be. And today I'm not where I want to be because I never thought I would end up here anyway. I just thought that I would just become a good comic and travel Idaho and, Montana and fucking. There's guys that do it that you've never heard of. That are 10 times
I know all about that.
That are 10 times funnier than the guys that are in L.A. or the guys that you're exposed to. There's guys that never leave Chicago that would come out here and break those clubs in half.
Do you think they're happier?
Somewhere along the line, they're locked up. They're scared. There's a fear element. Maybe they don't want to getting out of their comfort zone, But that's one thing about you, man. I saw you with Gene, and I'm like, this fucking guy is comfortable. I mean, his little microphone ain't shaking, His hand ain't shaking.
I'm glad it comes off that way, at least.
No, I mean, Cassius, you're on to something. You're on to something. I mean, you could, in a year, you could pitch Rolling Stone and say, hey, your magazine sucks ass. Let's go fucking digital and give me the back page division of concerts, pictures. You're a one-man show right now. I don't know if you know that, brother. And if you blog about
that's really the highest word.
Listen, you put a Facebook group page together and call it My Concert Blog and little interviews on there. You're a hit, bro. You got some sponsors. You're good to go. You quit your fucking liquor store job. In a year, you commit to that.
Yeah. No, that's the goal, and it means really a lot to me to hear that. I really just want to take it to new heights, and I also just want to show that you don't need a huge corporation, you don't need a huge studio, you don't need to be co-signed by big businesses to get your word out there, to get paid from your home, to be your own boss, to be the ringleader behind the show. I do have one collaborator. His name's Jesse Yon Fong, and me and him are going to be hitting LA in December and doing some work. He's born and raised out there.
Are you going to make sure you come into the studio?
What's that?
You going to come in and see us and do a bong hit with us finally?
It would be an absolute honor. I've been training, as you would call it. I've been training to meet you guys with the reefer, so we got to do that.
Oh, I'm so fucking excited. Listen, man, you've You've made me a fan, you know. I'm a fan of yours. You've made me believe in the system. I'm happy that my beliefs are still alive, that there's still people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm going to do? I got $3,000 in the bank. My rent is $750 a month. That means I'm good for 3 months and a couple fucking groceries. I'm going to start blogging, taking pictures. I'm going to put all the concert tickets on a fucking Visa card, and I'm going to take a chance. And I'm going to take a chance. I got some gold. My mother got some bonds that my grandmother left me, and that's my emergency fund. I'm going for this. And if you really go for something like that, like what you're doing, pictures, a blog, boom, and get a couple sponsors to your page, it's endless. Like I said, how many people really buy Rolling Stone magazine? Is it online, Rolling Stone magazine?
I'm sure some form of it is, yeah.
You know, I would.
They have a website with articles.
Yeah, I would just attack them right now and go, listen, you're like that fucking Almost Famous guy. You know, he's 16 writing. You're like the Almost Famous guy. You're like whatever, Cameron.
Well, Cassius,
that movie's great.
At this point, you probably won't even need a job when you move to LA. But for something in LA that's frustrating for me is, and just for a lot of people in our industry, is you have to do everything. Like, so it's amazing that you already are doing that with the pic. Like, when you apply for jobs or you see job postings out there now for even entry-level PA jobs, they want you to know how to take pictures, do graphic design, video, editing, audio, and you have to be a one-man crew.
Are you serious? They want you to know graphic design and everything?
I mean, for the ones I was applying to, and like, there are some that are like, they're just putting it on there to hope that you have it. But yeah, they want you to know everything. They want you to know all these programs. They want you to have a reel from a very young age. So the fact that you have Gene Simmons on your reel, like that they just do 30 seconds of that. And
who else is on your reel?
Some of the bigger ones I've had was Eric Singer of Kiss. I had Tommy Chong recently. I talked to Carly Rae Jepsen. And rest in peace, John Dunsworth. I did 2 interviews with him. One of them was about 3 months ago, and he passed today. But he was one of the biggest ones from Trailer Park Boys. Rest in peace, John.
You're really out there, man. What other concerts are you looking forward to see that are coming to your area?
One of the biggest ones that I'm looking forward to seeing is Jay-Z. I mean, I'd never in a million years thought I would see Jay-Z, but they built a really crazy state-of-the-art arena in Edmonton now. It's actually the #1 arena in North America. So all of a sudden we're just getting a flood of artists that we never got to see before. Like, we got Tool recently. I saw them for the first time. Life-changing. Yeah, it's been really fun out here. Edmonton is really a good place to be for what I'm doing, and I try to take full advantage of it.
I'll tell you what's going to be life-changing is Roger Waters Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah. I'm going with my sister and possibly even my mother, who loved Roger Waters in the 10th grade. And it's going to be beautiful.
Ari went, and Ari called me that night, fucking blown away. And I had to calm him down. Like, I had to explain to him. He couldn't understand. And I told him, I had to go, listen, that's 40 fucking years. We're doing comedy 20. Think of 40 fucking years, how sharp you are. Right? When did Dark Side of the Moon come out? I mean, that's not their first album.
72, I think.
75. Right, I think.
Okay.
Is it 75, 73? What is it? Wait.
Sorry, who?
Lee'll tell us.
73, March
Flying Jew will
1st.
tell us.
Yeah, 73. So before that, I think it was like they had like the first album is Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and then they had a couple of them after that. The first time I really heard them was with Money, was Dark Side of the Moon, and then I got infatuated, and I went and bought Umaguma by mistake. But that was a little weird. And
That's
then
a crazy record.
Right. Then I bought Wish You Were Here, and then Animals, and then, I was waiting for fucking The Wall to come out. Like, I was right there. So I think of The Wall. I think of what he did to me with The Wall. Mm-hmm. In reality, The Wall made me not want to see anything ever again.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good. When I saw it in February of 1980, I was blown the fuck away. Yeah, I did some fucking double barrel sunshine acid or whatever the fuck I was doing.
That'll help.
I did a bunch of drugs for that, but they were phenomenal. they had taken me somewhere else that I had never been before, in entertainment. And I saw everybody except Led Zeppelin and like Deep Purple. But I saw everybody from that 70s crew. I didn't see Elton John, I don't think. I think I saw Elton John years later, but not in that when he was throwing heat when I was a kid. Pink Floyd took me and opened my head that night. Like, it took me 3 or 4 nights to get over it. And I can't imagine. That was 1980 is what, 37 fucking years ago. If he was that sharp back then, what is he going to be like this time around?
It's going to be a next level type of show. I mean, it's very public how much Trump stuff is going to be in this show. And again, it speaks on the times that we're in. And that's what I love about Roger Waters. I mean, back in 72, 73, they were pushing the boundaries, talking about politicians in a negative light when it was frowned upon. And like you said, 40 years, he's still doing that. He's still pushing those buttons and standing up for what he believes in. And he's touring across America. I mean, this guy has the balls of Dr. Dre on a Tuesday, you know?
So his when you say that his concert involves a lot of Trump stuff, what's he doing on there?
Oh, he's doing everything. I mean, when he's doing Pigs, saying, you know, Sherrod, you are, he's showing Trump up on the screens, and he's got Trump on the pig floating around the arena.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's the real deal.
Hilarious. See if Roger Waters is coming to Los Angeles. Just
Joey, I think you should really go, because I was honestly, I was really hoping you'd go to Black Sabbath, and I think that you really should, out of respect for them. Yeah, and yourself. I know you love that stuff.
You know, man, I was leery of concerts. You know, like I said, I saw everybody. I think now the prices they charge you to park.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit. You know, I fucking hate that shit that I'm going to go to a concert with Lee and it's going to cost me $50 just to fucking park, you know, like at a UFC event or a Knickerbocker event, or when my friends go to see the Nets or the Yankees. It's fucking up there to park, you know, and that all that shit takes away. After this thing in Vegas 3 weeks ago, I really got to look at the situation. You know, I'm thinking of going to a World Series game for the Dodgers. I'm thinking of bringing my daughter. And then any concerned citizen would have to think, well, what's it going to be like at the World Series? Is there going to be a fucking mass shooter or something like this at a fucking game now? So this lingers in the back of your mind, you know. I don't know how bad it is up in Canada, but, you know, this last Vegas thing really, it took me 3 days to get over it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's terrible. And we felt the effects of it here in Canada. I know after the thing in the UK with Ariana Grande, I went to the first concert in Edmonton. After that, it was the Chili Peppers, and security was so tight. You know, that was the night that, like, I kind of guess I made the wrong moves in the photo pit, and I basically got attacked and thrown out of there. Like, everybody was really on edge, but, you know, we feel for everybody involved.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Jesus Christ, I can't imagine going to a concert now and trying to fucking relax. At least for me, I'm not going to lie to anybody. At least for me. A concert for me is to fucking take 2 edibles and smoke some dope, and I'm not going to drink.
Oh,
I'm going to pay fucking attention, Cassius. But it's to sit there and watch the guitar player and feel the power from the drums. When I heard that dude on stage and I heard that fucking machine gun going off, I'd fucking have an anxiety attack and faint. I would never dream of getting hit at a fucking concert like that.
Yeah.
I've seen fistfights at concert. I've seen Steven Tyler get punched in the face in Jersey at the soap factory. I've seen some fucked up shit at concerts. But I never heard 60 people getting shot, man. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I still haven't gotten over this, man. I still haven't gotten over this.
No, it's a national tragedy.
And let me tell you something. When I was on stage a couple times this week, I actually caught myself looking at the light, like going, is this somebody pointing, you know, like this stays in your mind, man. When you're up on stage, when you're out in public, whether you're at a horse track, you know, but I promise you that if Roger Waters is coming to town, what's the date, Lee?
He was here in June, unfortunately.
Well, he'll do a second half to the tour. He likes his fucking paper. If he comes, I promise you that I will try to go see him because I want to go. After Ari called me that excited, I felt like, fuck, I fucked up again.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally understand, though. And you saw these guys in their heyday back in the 70s, so I understand that there's probably not the same urgency that I feel having never seen any incarnation of these bands. But I feel like if you went, you'd probably thank yourself.
You know what, man? But I think you're going to get a better version than I got. How fucking scary is that? That guy is
That's pretty wild.
70. How old is he? 70? 67?
He must be.
If I'm 54, he's got to have me by 15 fucking years. How old is Roger?
Gene Simmons is 68, so he must be older than Gene Simmons.
Wow. How long was your interview total with him?
It was 5.5 minutes just because he seemed so incredibly exhausted from his big weekend, and I was honored to even just be there. I didn't want to push it. You know, you got to respect people's time.
So no Ace Frehley?
No, he totally kiboshed that. And actually, when he opened the curtain to tell the people outside the curtain to be quiet, I thought he was walking out because I asked him that question.
Now let me ask you this. Have you ever reached out to Ace Frehley?
I have so many times.
Me too.
And he totally said no. Have you?
He doesn't even answer me. If he said no to you, at least you're lucky.
He's 74.
I would love to see him on you guys' show.
Oh my! I think I would have a heart attack just to laughter. I would laugh every time I hear his interviews. I fucking laugh my ass off. I think he's the funniest person in the world to me. He's so real, and he's so let loose. That's what you have to be like to be a really good comedian. And since he doesn't do it for a living, and he's been doing it, being a crack up all his life, he's so fucking good at it now.
Yeah. No, he's totally next level. He was the true rock star of Kiss. He was the only one who really was out there, you know, eating those gorilla biscuits, the bazookas, and, you know, he was really out there with the women and everything, and he did it big. You know, the other members of Kiss had the music, but they didn't have that.
I told you that when I lived in Boulder, when I went back to Boulder to get my life together in 94, I was working for a sports betting service, and I had a friend, Sammy. And I was tight with Sammy. Sammy was a pimp and shit. He had like he was 30, and his girlfriend was 50, but her family owned like 9 Chinese restaurants somewhere in the fucking country. So he was living at home driving a Porsche and shit. But him and her had, and she's dead, God rest her soul. She was one of the sweetest women I ever met in my life. When I was dead broke, Cassius, they would call me at the house and go, "We're going on a date to a movie theater. We left the door open. Come over, we made you fucking Chinese food, watch your favorite movie, and wait for us." It was mind-boggling. And one night, they just happened to rip out, you know, I don't know how many pictures of them with Ace Frehley in Connecticut.
Holy.
All right? And I mean, you had to see that. He was probably like like Ace Frehley was doing a ton of drugs, and he would just talk to anybody. He ended up hanging out with Sammy for about 2 or 3 years, and they became tight. And Sammy never took a picture of it because he was embarrassed, but he said he was in his car many a time, and if you opened up the glove compartment, he would have a slide-out mirror in there. Nobody's ever done that. I've never heard of anybody doing that. Why would Sammy make that up? You know, I didn't see it, but why would Sammy make that up? I mean, he had pictures of him at a table with beers everywhere and fucking mirrors doing coke with Sammy. I mean, you know, Sammy was a heavy dude, and Ace Frehley was, and I heard that Ace was just crazy. And that's how I got into Ace. Like I said, I listened to Kiss when I was 12 and 11, but my buddy died, and I promised him I would never listen to Kiss again until I saw him again in heaven. But I cheated recently.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, I cheated recently. I put Rock and Roll on. What's that one?
Rock and Roll Over, maybe?
Yeah, oh my God. That was...
Oh, yeah.
I Want You and all that shit. That's my shit.
Yes.
And Kiss Alive, which the last couple days of today was the 40th anniversary, which makes it about right. I was 14. So, yeah, Kiss Alive, yeah.
You need to check out Ace Frehley's 1978 solo album. Just sit back, give yourself an hour, and be blown away.
What's the name of the album?
It's just called Ace Frehley. Back in '78, I'm sure you remember, they all released their own Kiss solo albums on the same day. So all 4 originals competed, and Ace, by a landslide, was the craziest album. He had like psychedelic Jimi Hendrix type stuff. Really won't disappoint.
Okay, no, I'm a fan of his. So what's next for Cassius, brother? No, I know you would, dog. Listen, I am a huge fan of yours. I have the utmost respect for you. You know, even now, tonight, after you told me that you dumped a girlfriend, nobody who's 19 dumps a little monkey, hot little piece of ass for some fucking faggy podcast career. But you did it, brother. And I got a lot of respect for you.
And I wish her all the best. She's a beautiful girl.
No, have you remained friends with her?
No, there's no need for that.
Cold-blooded Cassius Morris. Jesus Christ. Love him and leave him.
I mean, do you want to be at the top or not?
No, listen, this is what I tell Lee all the time. Lee thinks I'm fucking around here. Thank God you came on the show. Lee thinks I play games and I make these mind things up, that there's a point in your life where you really have to do inventory. For me, I mean, you're doing it at 19, which, I mean, my heart goes out to you. You're a fucking savage. I didn't do anything like that till I got into comedy. But then it's weird. There's people you push away just because you know that you can't even get close to them. Why would I even instigate this? I'm going to leave $50 on the thing so she could buy a bracelet, and I'm just splitting. You know what I'm saying? Why? Then you get this power. You really get this power once you fall in love with what you're doing, that you start saying no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's when you go to a complete different level in your life, in your career. Once you start sacrificing the things you love. I really love football. But if I can make $250 on a fucking Sunday and get the education I want to go where I need to go, this is what I'm going to do. And when you do like 3 or 4 of them, once you show yourself you could go without, that's one of the strongest things that you'll ever feel in your life. Like when I went to prison.
Yeah.
When I went to prison, bro, I thought I was going to kill myself after 2 days with no marijuana. But the truth was, after a week, yeah, I had insomnia, and yeah, I had some type of withdrawal, and you know, but let me tell you something, I lived. And my body learned how to sleep without marijuana, and I did just fucking fine. Would I do it today? No, there's no need to. It's funny.
There's no need.
There's no need. I spoke to Duncan today. He's flying in next week. And I go, you gonna see anybody? He goes, fuck no, I'm staying away from those sober fucks. I died of fucking laughter. He goes, I've been getting high all month. He goes, I've been getting high all month. Cassius, man, I gotta tell you something. I'm really proud of you. I'm a fan, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
How long are you gonna be in LA for? How long are you gonna be down here?
I'm hoping to go down there for a week, and we're hoping to just cram in a ton of work, a ton of promotion for the Cassius Morris Show, getting the iTunes page popping, YouTube page popping, and just keeping our goals at the number one, being the number one focus. And thank you guys again for having me on. Lee, I love you, man.
No, you don't have to go. Hold on. So you'll be here for a week,
okay,
hopefully.
no, let's do it.
Where are you staying at?
I'm not sure yet. We haven't even got to booking yet. We're just starting to plan the trip and plan the spots that we want to hit right now.
Okay, well, listen, this is one of the spots. I liked it. Oh, you can't even go to the Comedy Store.
I can't. I'm only 19, yeah.
And what about the Ice House?
Wasn't there something that someone had to do, like have security bring them in to do the spots or something? Maybe we could get like maybe he could...
Yeah, but Cassius isn't doing the spot.
Okay, that's true.
I want Cassius to come
I was thinking about the underground podcast studio.
Where is that?
In the store.
That might work. We might get you down in the daytime. I could talk to Eleanor. Absolutely, brother.
That would be great.
Anything I could do to help you. Like I said, you get a lot of my respect. You're a fucking giant amongst kids your age, and
amongst people a lot older than him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So whatever we could do for you here at the church, you got it, brother. Happy Halloween.
Thank you so much, Uncle Joey. The fact that you guys have been there since day one really means a lot. Like, you were the first episode of my non-Kiss podcast, and you believed in me from day one, so that will always mean the world to me, trust me.
You know, I don't fuck around, brother. I see heart when I know heart when I see it. So thank you for calling in, and keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, and I hope everybody checks out the Cassius Morris Show, and we have a new episode coming out tonight with comedian Drew Bame, so check it out, people.
That's what I'm talking about. Always promoting on the way out. This kid's a savage. That's why I love him. Where's some Tony Bennett, kid?
Absolutely. Much love, you guys. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Some shout outs real quick to you fucking savages. Lorne Rosencut, my man Jason Sullivan, Dave Belmonte, my man Gino, who gave me the CD, Lorenzo Toledo, you know I love you, brother. I'm sorry I didn't see you down there. Scott Carpenter, fucking Paranoid album, whoever gave me the album, thank you. My girl Fire Goddess Beth, my man Leon, and listen, my brother Bobby, Sharon, and Crystal have a podcast. What's it called now? I'm fucking
CobraCast.
CobraCast.
It's up for an award.
It's up for an award. If you live in the Texas area, Austin, do me a favor. Look them up and what's going on. I'm all right.
Okay.
Look, the fuck you breaking my shit for? You know I forget. Look up Bobby Sharon's podcast, CobraCast, and vote for it. He's family. He does a great job with the fucking podcast, and he's one of the sweetest guys I know. And Crystal's fucking dynamite too. So do me a favor. If you're in the Texas area, I think you have to live in Austin. If you live in Austin, go over there and help my brother out. Number 2, I'll see you motherfuckers in January. Number 3, Danny Brown is down there. And he said that when we go down there now, we got a Chinese joint to go to.
Oh, shit.
It's a rapper guy that learned how to cook Chinese food. And he goes, it ain't Chan's, but it's damn close. And they got egg rolls and everything. So when we go to Austin in January, you're going to get your dream to eat some good Chinese food in Austin.
I'm so excited. Is it like a Chinese rapper or?
I don't fucking know. I didn't ask particulars, cocksucker. Don't forget, Thursday night, comedy on Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky, Louisville, all you motherfuckers in Kentucky, Paducah. I'll be seeing you cocksuckers down there. Don't forget about me. I'm excited to go back to Lexington. Number 2, what was I going to say to you guys? That was, I almost had a heart attack talking to that fucking young kid, Cassius Morris.
He's a great kid.
Well, I would never think of dumping some chick for my fucking career at 19. When we're 19, I know men today. I know 50-year-old men that have no fucking control. You know, that they don't see, like, they can't weigh the balance between what's the important thing in your life and how to get the most out of both. And this 19-year-old kid, listen, man, every once in a while you bump into people that let you know your beliefs are still alive. I went to Tampa and I became friends. I asked this dude, where's the best Cuban sandwich? He told me El Duque, whatever restaurant, El Segundo restaurant. And I go, you're Cuban? And we start talking. But he was talking to me in English. I go, how long you been here? He goes, I just got here in January. I go, you know English already? He goes, yeah, I fucking took a class, a 90-day class, and now I study at home. And I learned talking to the people here. I go, how'd you get this job? He goes, I got this job. He was the head. He goes, I started as a maintenance man. Then the guy on top of me quit. So now I run the department. 6 months he's been there. 9 months he's been in the country. 6 months he's had a job there. He bought a car. He got a driver's license. He's got some type of apartment. Only him and his wife came. He doesn't have any kids. When I hear shit like that somebody did that, my fucking head blows up. His Spanish, he wasn't no fucking, no stand-up comic, but I understood what he was saying, and he had a little paper with him just in case he got stuck and he wanted to say a word. He had like a little fucking dictionary.
A little cheat sheet or something?
Like a little cheat sheet, so that was pretty impressive to see.
Sometimes, like, if I see, so like, I saw some homeless people the other night, and I just started thinking, I was like, I don't know if I have the strength to be homeless. So in other situations, like, for like a guy
if you fucking end up homeless, obviously you got no fucking strength. Well, so that's number one. Number two, being homeless, there's various reasons.
That's true.
There's a guy that lives under the bridge on Magnolia there.
Right.
He's been there for fucking 90 days. When you stop there, you could tell he's on meth. Like, he probably lives in the bushes at night. But I've seen him under the bridge when we finish the podcast sometimes. When I go for a drive down to 7-Eleven or something. There's various fucking reasons.
Right. And
mental health is definitely one of the issues.
And I don't look down. I see them as stronger than me because I just... And people from Cuba. Like, if I had to go somewhere where I didn't speak the language, I've always been terrible at speaking languages. It's something that I think I would avoid for that reason. Well, and that guy you met probably came here for a hopefully better life.
Yeah, no, it's a dream.
Right.
It's like Cassius Morris. It's like whatever. Listen, you can't imagine being homeless.
No.
Till you're homeless. Listen, you don't know what it's like when you're in a bar till 3 and you're dreading 3 because you got to find a place to go. I did that leave for about 5 weeks total. I did it for like 7 or 8 days. Then I got a place to stay for a while. I would have a hotel room. And then there was like fucking, I don't know how many days in a row that I went to that fucking thing. And then I would take a night off and go to a hotel and warm up for a night and then get another $42 to stay an extra night. But I'd be back in that fucking rocket ship. And let me tell you something, there's not a night. You know why I like it cold at night?
Why?
To remind me of what it felt like those nights when I slept out there. Like, to remind me what they fucking felt like.
Is it even possible for you to forget? I don't think...
No, I never forgot that. It wasn't sexual abuse. It wasn't mental abuse.
It was mental abuse.
It was self-inflicted addiction abuse. When your addiction is so bad that you don't care about your fucking sleeping habits. You don't
arrangements,
care about your sleeping arrangements. Sorry about that. That's what it was. You know how sad that is? I fucking wouldn't pay $600 because I'd rather put it in my nose.
So that first night, or whatever, and maybe not even that first night, whenever it hit you that you were homeless, what was that like?
You don't want to think about it. You don't think about it. You just play along, and a fantasy becomes in your head. And just like I wanted to be a comic and Cassius, you have this fantasy that you're gonna bump into $800 and get like a fucking apartment someday. So that's what keeps you alive. You go, wow, next week it's gonna be warm. Like, that's how I looked at it. It's gonna be warm. I might as well spend it on blow. When I think about that time, it makes me want to fucking puke. But I learned a lot sleeping on that tier, on that metal. I learned a lot about myself. Come on, man. Half those nights I would cry myself to sleep. But then I'd pick myself up and I'd finish my Coke and I'd jerk off again and I'd pass out and wake up the next morning, and then I'd promise myself that was the last time I was going to sleep in that rocket ship. But by 4 o'clock, I knew I was going to sleep in a rocket ship. At least somebody would say to me, where you been sleeping at? And I'd go, at a friend's house or something, but you could stay here. That's the only way I would have gave it. But after a while, I didn't want to stay with people no more because I was just going to fuck up our friendship. It was easier for me to stay at that rocket ship and just stop by your house when your parents ain't home, brush my teeth, wash my face, comb my hair, maybe jump in and get a hot shower. And it was a lot easier for me then. than staying with somebody. Like, that's how bad it got. Like, I would just cause havoc in your house.
Were you even enjoying cocaine at this point?
I was enjoying it a lot.
So it's even fun even when you're homeless. It makes that fun.
What? Listen, I was homeless for 10 hours of my day. So for 14 hours, stop with that fucking bottle already by that mic.
I'm sorry.
So for 14 hours, you're the producer. You know.
No, I didn't mean to.
That's
do
like the
bottle.
third time you did it, cocksucker, with that crimpy bottle. These bottles blow too. We gotta get.
I got a different kind this time. We'll see.
Thank you for getting it, though.
No
You're a savage. It was. I just didn't. I don't know. I still remember the feeling of that metal with the ridges on it. Have you ever seen when you go on a kid's playground how the metal stuff has ridges on it? Even the rubber stuff now has ridges on it. Every time I look at those ridges, I get flashbacks of those nights. When I go home at night and I put my sleep apnea mask on and the fan's blowing and it's cold in there already, and I cover my head for 5 seconds, that feeling comes back. And my body goes, like,
you check to make sure you're in a house.
like I had like a fucking hooded sweatshirt with like a winter jacket with gloves, and that's how I would sleep. I would clean the spot off with my jeans and my shoe. I would take my sock off and clean it. My feet would be drenched and stinky from having the same shoes on all day, so I'd take my shoes off and socks to give them air. I'd fucking wake up in the middle of the night, my feet would be icicles. Because remember, I slept out there like a little bit after Halloween, and then I got my act together, but then I went back out there the 2 weeks after, like, I started sleeping in like 2 days before Christmas. I finally got a place. I said, you know what? I cannot spend Christmas in a fucking rocket ship.
I don't know. For people who don't live on the East Coast, it was probably 19 in the single digits when you were sleeping outside in December.
You know, till this day, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about with frostbite. But that year, I'm gonna tell you something. That year, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a mild winter. It was a mild winter, and it picked up. Like, it picked up after I got in the hotel.
Thank God.
You know, the holidays are usually mild in the East Coast. You get a couple of winter spurts before that. Like, I could see in the Yankee game tonight, they already had winter jackets on. But there's that little warm spurt, you know, when you'll call me from Boston and go, it's 70 degrees. And it really is. But right after Christmas, it just drops into January. And that's when I wasn't in the rocket ship. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I wasn't. That was when it was brutal. Remember, the night I left North Bergen, I went to bed at maybe 4, Lee. You know, maybe 4 in a hotel room. And when I woke up at 8, there was a foot of fucking snow on the ground. And I had to walk the Pathmark with my sneakers, and I was sick, and come back, and then I had to elude the drug dealer. You have no fucking idea. And then Mr. T came, who I did not call when I was in fucking Tampa this weekend, because you know what? Mr. T lives in Sarasota, my teacher who saved my life. It's an hour away, so that means he would have had to drive an hour to me, watch the show, and then drove an hour back. I should have just got him a hotel room, but I didn't think about it as I was on the fucking plane home. That dude saved my life on January 1st, 1985. He got me out of the rocket ship. And I ended up staying with him and his family. And now his 2 kids, one of them is a honcho for CBS.
Awesome.
So every time he comes into town, I meet him by Warner Brothers and we go to lunch and shit and talk about his father.
That's crazy.
Weren't you with us the one night? Yeah. Nick?
I don't know. Was I?
In front of the Comedy Store, and we're talking about my teacher who we were doing blow with and shit.
Probably.
That was Nick. That was his son. Yeah, that was... you know, I wouldn't say I was. Who the fuck knows where my head was at, Lee, when I was sleeping in that rocket ship? I remember being up there one night and having like 3 grams of coke, and having like a party up there at 4 in the morning by myself, and people would drive by. Like in those days, if you got a bag of coke and you were at a bar, before you went home, if you lived uptown, you drove down 88th Street Park because you knew if people were out, they're going to be parked there. Like there was a couple spots in North Bergen at that time. There was the Coat Factory.
You guys were partying in the park?
Yeah, we drink at a bar till 3. All right, you'd snort coke at a bar till 3, and then you'd go to a park, 88th Street Park, 67th Street. There was the Coat Factory, or 64th Street Field, and I would park behind you, and I'd get in the car with you, and we'd have a mirror out, and we'd get beers, and we'd just drink beers and snort coke in the car, and then every like 20 minutes somebody has to get out to pee. You know, that's a fucking nightmare. So you're out there freezing. Yeah, dog, we used to snort coke outside in cars.
Jesus.
But the famous spot was the Coat Factory on 67th and Cottage Avenue. If you go back there today, I guarantee you'll find cocaine back there today. It left there from 30 fucking years ago.
Somewhere.
And there was an upper lot and a lower lot.
Okay.
So it was a Coat Factory that's been there forever. In fact, one of those houses across the street is where the Iceman lived. In like 1966. That's where he was first married. That's where he fucking lived. On that street, 67th and Cottage. Look it up, cocksuckers, if you don't believe me. But that was the main cocaine spot.
Okay.
The Coat Factory. When somebody said, where am I meeting you? At 3:30, meet me behind the Coat Factory. And there was a lower level and there was a higher level. And if I described this to you, Lee, you would not believe it. It would be 5 cars parked back there, parked decently, and everybody in those cars doing cocaine. If the weather was warm, you get out outside and drink beer. And one of the cars had a mirror in the trunk with coke in the fucking mirror.
Where were the cops?
The cops would drive by every once in an hour, but as long as we weren't making noise and nobody was doing anything, we knew the cops. It wasn't how it is now that they'd pull in on you or nothing like that.
Jesus.
I still remember being on fucking this. There used to be an A&P parking lot, like 80-something in Bergen Line Avenue. When I just graduated, I dropped out of high school, but the year I was supposed to graduate, me and the guys I graduated with were getting high one time at the A&P parking lot with the coke mirror on top of the hood of the car. Right out in the open like nothing.
What time of the day?
11:30 at night. Which, you know, the Bergen Line Avenue is the main fucking street in North Bergen. I'm lying to you. No. It was late. I'll tell you why I remember. Because we were parked in the parking lot. And I mean, we weren't parked in a spot. We were parked where somebody would drive. Like, we didn't give a fuck. All right? They would shut the lights out behind Pathmark. And unless you really looked in there, you couldn't really see anybody unless there was 20 cars. If there was 1 car and 4 people standing outside with beers, they wouldn't pull over. But if there was like 20 people and 5 cars, they'd pull over if you stopped at A&P parking lot.
Right, so you went in like a couple cars.
Right, so this night it was just 4 of us with 1 car.
Gotcha.
With the mirror on top of the hood of the fucking car. And we're doing cocaine outside. And we're giggling, we're having a nice time, and we see this guy walking like with no shirt on or some shit. I don't remember all the particulars. And in that time we used to fuck with people. Right? We used to call him over and talk to him and tell him, oh, you're with this guy. And the guy wouldn't know what you were talking about and shit. So we go over there and we start talking to the guy. And one of my friends tells the guy, listen, do you mind if we suck your dick? And the guy don't know what to do, this poor bastard. This guy was a half a momo as it was. And now we give him a beer. We make him feel at home. And my friend says, listen, what do you think? You think we can suck your dick? And this guy starts panicking and shit. He runs down the street. The beer falls out of his hand. And the next thing you know, he fucking waves down a cop car. Right there as he's running out of the parking lot, a cop car sees him. He's like, hello. Those kids over there, they want to suck my dick and shit. So, oh, fuck. So my friend Pelly, Roger, it was his car. So he jumped in the car and started it and put the car in reverse and the mirror. It slid off the parking lot. It slid off the hood. The mirror slid off the hood. And the glass, it wasn't a mirror. It was an inch piece of glass We had robbed his house, and it was a fucking designer.
You robbed his house?
No. We had robbed a house.
Oh, God, gotcha.
And you know how you have a bed stand?
Right.
These were the 2 bed stands, but they were locked. So in those days, if I came in your house and something was locked, and I didn't have the right tools, I took it to go. So we took both bed stands.
Wait, so you took a nightstand?
A nightstand, like the ones that sit next to your bed.
You just took it?
Picked it up, went downstairs with it.
God damn it.
But the beauty of it was that it had a piece of glass on it. That was about 1 inch thick and about 18 inches across each way. It was just a square, you know?
Right.
And I said, fuck it, I'll take the whole thing. And I took both fucking bed. I used to take everything in those days, Lee.
No evidence.
I didn't know, Lee. I didn't fucking know. Like, I didn't know. So let's say I go into your house and there's a safe.
Right.
Like after 1982, right before I went to Colorado the first time ever, I met this dude in North Bergen. I met him through a friend, the DiLorenzo's.
Oh no.
that's fucking.
The way you said that's not good.
No,
the DiLorenzo.
The DiLorenzo's, and there was Kurt, Chrissy Fish, and fucking Bonehead.
Good. That's always good.
This is one of the stories of Bonehead.
Oh, good.
So Bonehead's family knew this guy, so I became friends with him. And we were talking. He's the one that used to give me jobs to case joints out, like warehouses. And he taught me a couple things. And I go, so if the safe way, you know, if you can't break into the safe,
right?
What are you doing? He goes, we take it to go. And then we figure it out. He goes, there's a guy over in the city that for 10%, he'll crack your safe. He's like a guy in development, so you might take a while, maybe 8-10 hours. But there's another guy that wants 25%, and he'll break into any safe in 4 hours for you. So all you need to do is take the safe to go, and they'll figure it out once you get it home. But you can't bring it home because sometimes they have those detectors on them. You know what I'm saying? Beep, beep. So you got to take them to a warehouse. The guy's got to be waiting. You got to bust it open and then dump the fucking safe.
So much planning goes into it, I guess.
So I started taking shit. Anything I couldn't get into, if you locked it, there must have been something in there, Valley. That was my fucking philosophy.
God damn it.
What are you goddamning about?
Well, no, it's like you think you're protected. They sell all this stuff. Protect yourself.
No,
and
if I go into your house and you have a little tin, okay, like a little tin box, like a fishing box, and it's got the combination on it, and you've got cash in there and maybe some blow. Do you know how many of those things I took when I was robbing? And I could not believe how people really thought that somebody wouldn't figure it out, that they just take the box. All you got to do with those things is get a screwdriver and just fucking stick one in on one end and one on the other end and just go in the wrong opposite direction. And those things would bust fucking open. When your heart's beating and you want that cocaine, I would be like, I'd have the strength of fucking 10 Hulks. I would stick 2 fucking steady screwdrivers, the thick ones, and just pull the opposite direction. And those boxes pop right open. And you're just letting me know where everything is. I'm going to take the whole box to go. So if you got a house and you got one of those boxes, do me a favor. Put 400 in there and leave it at that and leave it open. So when the kid does come in your house and he gets to 400, that's all he thinks he got, because that's your secret compartment. You got another place hidden inside a closet behind 2 suits in the wall. That's where you have your 9,500 in case there's an earthquake, in case you got to make a move. That's where you got your birth certificate. That's where you have the other thing. You know, that's how you bullet prey. If you're a coke dealer, if Lee knows I sell fucking ounces, and I know Lee's a thief, I'm always going to leave an 8-ball out. So if the guy comes in a rush, he finds an 8-ball and he goes, I'd rather you take an 8-ball than you take 4 ounces from me. I would come into people's houses and they'd have all the coke together like an asshole that they were. Sometimes they got hip and they separated the pure shit from the cut shit, but I'd find it. I wouldn't even do that. I'd leave 2 piles of cut shit out for them. One with a little rock, and you always leave 200 for the mouse. Because you got to assume the guy who's breaking into your house is an amateur. And he's racing against the clock. Jeez. So if I see Lee go, and I see that he pulls into Subway Sandwich, I run up to your house, kick the fucking door down, run into your bedroom, open up your drawers, open up your bureaus. I'm going to find something in your bureaus, and I'm going to find something in your little fucking faggy bedstand. You're going to have something hidden in one closet and something hidden on the other. You're always going to have little bites for them, so they think they won. But your big bites are really, really hidden good.
And did you only learn this or come up with this because of your experiences?
I learned this from being a thief.
Right.
I thought it was the dumbest things where people, if you have a safe and it's locked, it tells me you have something.
Fuck.
I'm taking the fucking thing.
I don't have anything in my house, but it's...
If I could take the thing, I'll take the thing to go. Now, it's very difficult. It's easier said than done. Where'd I park the car? When I came up here, I didn't know there was a safe in Lee's house. He lives on the second floor. I gotta walk down a set of stairs or get on an elevator. He's at Subway Sandwich. What if he pulls up as I'm walking out of his house with his fucking safe?
Fucking Christ.
So you're always racing against the clock. So if you're an amateur or you're a junkie like I was, and I'm a drug dealer and you break into my house, I'm going to leave little things for you so you think you won. If I'm a 4-ounce every couple day fucking dealer and I do a little bit of blow 2 nights a week and I fucking go to New York City, like let's say I live in North Bergen and I go over the bridge to New York City, and my sister lives with me, so she watches, but on this night she went shopping. You have that time window to break into my house. You're going to go in there out fast. If I tell you I'm leaving for a weekend, I'm dead. You're going to find my loot, because only an idiot wouldn't. You got the whole weekend. Lee's in San Diego. He told a friend of mine he was in San Diego. Let's bust into his house.
Would you go to bars on like scouting missions?
No, you'd put somebody to follow him, and then you'd call him at the bar or something and make sure he was there. Or he'd call you at a payphone.
Fuck.
And then I would put you at a payphone across the street from the place I was robbing. So when I kicked in the door, the first thing I would do is spot you.
Okay.
I'd be watching you. So every 2 things I do, every bedroom, I go into the bedroom, I get something, I come out and I watch you. If you're still clear, I go into a closet. If you're still clear, I go into a bathroom. If I come out and you're waving your hands, that means get the fuck out of there. So the more time you give me, if I have a spotter, the more time I have in your room, and in 2-minute intervals. So in 2-minute intervals, I could look at your room and I could know the side of your activity.
How often would you have a spotter?
If I robbed 5 things, maybe twice. If I thought that there was going to be people, money in there, like a kilo of coke or something, and I never got nothing like that. It was all in my imagination. They would have a few ounces, or $6 grand, or 1,800 cash.
And was it all for drugs?
It was easy money, Lee.
Just easy money?
Lee, it was easy money. I found, you take when I lived in Snowmass Village with Jimmy Burkle.
Okay.
You know, I was bored, and I watched drug dealers' patterns, and I was raised with drug dealers. Okay? And I know good drug dealers are brilliant fucking people. How their job is not to be obvious.
Right.
And their job is to deter you. So even if you get to them, you're not getting their shit. Okay, so number 1, the drug dealers I grew up with always moved their mother or their wife's mother in the house. That means there's always somebody there. She may leave on Thursdays to go shopping, but on those days you purposely stay home.
Does she know she's security or no?
She has no fucking clue that she's even there. She has no clue why she's there, and you're giving her $300 a week to stay and, you know,
groceries,
yeah, and pay for her bingo and shit at night. So you get her out of bingo at night. That's when you do your drug dealing. And now people know your grandmother's there all night. They're not going to try to bust into your house. That's number 1. Number 2, you don't put the drug in your house. The drugs are never in your house. I go to you. I pay your rent, and I come over once a week. I weigh my shit. I'll call you. You tell me Paul is not over. I come over. I throw you a little envelope. I take my coke out of your spare bedroom. Paul knows nothing.
How long does that last for? Like, are you worried about neighbors seeing you too much?
Not really. I'll switch it up. I'll have you and 2 other people.
Gotcha.
You know, you give a skinny girl that's hooked on coke a gram a week. You go over there, bang her, and stash your shit in the safe over there that she can't get her filthy paws in.
She tries all week.
Yeah, they'll try all week. But you can just get a girlfriend and stash your coke at her house. There's so many fucking ways, you know, but when you're dealing in that level, first of all, you don't want the drugs in your house so you don't have access to them. If you come home at night from a bar, you don't want to have 2 ounces in your house when you bring some fucking blonde chick home. You want to make sure for you to get that coke, there has to be a struggle. You got to wake somebody up. You got to embarrass yourself, you know what I'm saying? So you'll put it at somebody who you know I can't knock on Paula's door at 3 in the morning. I know I can't wake Lee up at 3 in the morning. Besides that, Lee's one of my partners, so I don't want him to know I do coke anyway. That's why I give him the coke at night. But once Paula leaves, I go over there at 8 in the morning. I pick up my shit. Lee makes me breakfast. We bullshit. We talk about our activities for the day. And then that night, I drop it off again, and there's a fucking milk box. And he pulls it inside his house. Or something like that. You know, I'm just telling you, like...
Right. You haven't even mentioned the police yet. Like, is any of this worrying you? No. I'm worried for you right now.
Why?
Because I don't want anyone to go to the jail's the ultimate whatever it's called. What makes you not want to do it? I don't know what that's
Deterrent.
Called. Deterrent, yeah.
Is what I'm talking about deterrent?
Well, jail would be a deterrent to me to do. I mean, obviously everyone wants to make quick money, but though I think that's the reason everyone or most people probably don't sell drugs. If in even a moral, like that's really the reason. Like some people probably hate drugs, so that's part of it. But if you knew you weren't going to go to jail for
Listen, bro, to sell drugs is the easy way out. We all know that. When I did it, I didn't even make money. I was such a fucking loser. So I decided to be a bottom feeder and rob drug dealers. You know, that's all it was. I learned how to do all that shit. You look at movement, you look at a lot of fucking things. But am I proud of it? No. But that's who I was then, and it made me who I am today. So you can't look back and cry. Fuck it.
I think you probably learned a lot of lessons.
But now I know how to deter your house from fucking burglaries.
Yeah. So you have like hidden compartments? I'm not going to ask you where they are, but...
No, I don't have nothing in my house because I have my wife and kid over there, and I got the rings, and I got... No.
Okay. No. But you're not worried about people breaking in?
Oh, you always have to be worried. That's why I got the cameras and the thing with the fucking ring in front that you could read that ring is fucking tremendous.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That ring adds a whole new thing to it. So the guy next door, Ron, and his wife,
right,
were talking to my wife, and they said if Terry bought the things that her son-in-law would install it.
Oh, very nice.
So he came over about a week ago when I was there, and he was there for a couple of hours. I got him high. We cooked some gumbo for him and shit, some jambalaya. And even when I'm on the road, now I got to install the app.
But now you have cameras all around the place.
Yeah, now this is the future. This is it.
You have to now.
You know, and you know what the main thing is? People stealing your boxes.
Yeah.
My wife fucking lives off Amazon. You know, I'm home. If I'm home 4 hours in the daytime, that doorbell rings twice. Bing bong. And then you go out and there's nobody there, and you look down, there's a box. That happens twice a fucking day at my house.
It's all the time.
It's all the time.
We get toilet paper delivered. So I had that issue with my phone a couple weeks ago.
We've been there a year, and they've knocked on the door 3 times already, asking us if we saw a car at 1 o'clock.
Jesus.
So I just said, wait a second. I saw the commercial for Ring, and I saw the improvement they made. Listen, man, it could save your life. It's not better than a fucking gun.
Right.
But listen, when I pull up in my house, you think I'm a fucking convict. Lights pop on from everywhere. It's crazy.
My dad loved those lights.
Yeah, the lights pop on from everywhere. So, listen, we live in different times. The house came with an alarm, and we upgraded it with the whole fucking thing, you know?
You have to be careful now. You have to think about it.
You have to. So, it's a different world. It's a different fucking world. And that's how it goes. Don't forget this weekend, Lexington, Kentucky. Thursday, 8 o'clock. No, 7:15 show. This is early. I get you motherfuckers out of there early. And the weekend is like 7:15 and 9 or something.
Your dream.
Fuck, yeah, on my dream. And I get back early on Sunday morning. It's going to be a fucking party, Jack. We got a great week. We got a great couple weeks. Danny Brown called today. We got Wheeler Walker. We got fucking Jay Larson next week promoting his fucking show. That's great. About comics in the beginning with the tapes and shit. It seems interesting as fuck. You know I don't like none of that shit, but that shit blew me away. I think that's a brilliant idea. I won't even give it up anymore. So stay tuned, cocksuckers. But this is it. It's the Tuesday morning podcast. Let me just hear me out for a second, just because I got you, right? Listen, the holidays are coming. You want to look sharp. You bump into some chick at the office. You take her back. You want those little white underwear with the little skid marks and stuff. It's 2017. You got to up your underwear game. MeUndies makes you feel good. MeUndies makes feel good undies your butt will be proud to wear. They'll be the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll ever own. And to check out yourself, go to MeUndies.com right now. With tons of styles and patterns to choose from for both men and ladies, MeUndies will have the perfect fit for any personality. The MeUndies feeling is unmatched because they use a naturally soft fabric that is 3 times softer than cotton. Now, for a limited time only, check out MeUndies' first ever glow-in-the-dark print lights out. Are you kidding? Glow in the dark. Are you kidding me or what? Why not update your underwear drawer and glow at the same time? And if your underwear isn't your thing, MeUndies also makes the softest socks in the world. I got a pair for your house, Lee. I'm sorry. I just forget. I put them in the closet.
Thank you.
But no. Listen, as far as you guys know, I've been working with MeUndies now for a few years. Is it because this or that? No. It's because I personally wear them. When I go to jiu-jitsu, they're the underwear of choice for me. I don't like being sweaty, and MeUndies, the Modal, the fabric, it takes that sweat away from your skin. You have no idea. And look how I'm built. I'm a fat dude. All my underwear was stretching out, not MeUndies. MeUndies are still ticking. So do myself and yourself a favor. Go to MeUndies.com/Joey right now. They're going to be the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll ever own. So right now, to check out the whole collection for yourself, go to MeUndies.com/Joey. What I'm going to do is this, because you know I love you people. I want you to look good, and I want your nuts to be fresh for the holidays, all right? You know me. And your little monkeys, ladies, I want that to be fresh too. And MeUndies will do that for you. But to get the party started, listen what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you 20% off the best and softest underwear and socks you'll ever own. Free shipping. And, you ready for this one? 100% satisfaction guaranteed to go. That's how I roll, people. So do yourself a favor. Go to MeUndies.com/Joey. That's MeUndies.com/Joey. I'm giving you my personal guarantee. You're going to love how they feel. You're going to love how they look. You're going to tweet me and go, Joey, you're a fucking savage. Go to MeUndies.com/Joey. Number 2, listen. Like I said, the holidays are coming. You got worthless employees you want to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? You got dead skin. You want to start the year off good. You're looking to hire people. You're looking to upgrade your business, whether it's small or large. You're looking to make a move, all right? But you need great talent for your business, but you're short on time. You don't have to get lost in a huge stack of resumes to find your perfect hire. All you need to do is have the right tools, smarter tools. So if you're hiring and you know that quality hires keep your business moving forward, but you also know it could take a lot of time to find the right candidate, Uncle Joey's here for you. You ready for this? Do you like it? Do you like it like this? With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job over the 100 of the web's leading job boards with one click. So you can rest easy knowing your job is being seen by the right candidates, and that's what you want. Then ZipRecruiter puts its smart matching technology to work for you, actively notifying quality candidates about your job within minutes of posting, so you receive the best possible matches, and bam, there you have it. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike the other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you. It finds them. You can even get a head start on the interview process by adding screening questions to your job post to help identify the most qualified candidates, so you don't have to waste time sorting through a stack of resumes for the perfect fit. That means time. No wonder 80% of employees who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Again, one day. That means you're saving time, you're more productive, you're happier. That's what ZipRecruiter do for you. And it's easy to use. A ZipRecruiter dashboard lets you manage your hiring process from start to finish, all in one place. Listen, ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by growing businesses of all sizes, industries, to find the most qualified job candidates with the immediate results. And right now, my listeners, my family, can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free, gratis. Go to ZipRecruiter.com right now, /church, CHURCH. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time, ZipRecruiter.com/church. Listen, they're going to save you time, and they're going to get you the best possible candidate. I want to thank ZipRecruiter, and I want to thank MeUndies once again. I want to thank my man Cassius Morris, and I want to thank my little brother Lee Syatt for making the podcast possible. But I want to thank you, Savages, for supporting it, all right? I'll see you motherfuckers Wednesday, and I'll see the rest of you motherfuckers Thursday night at
Lexington
Comedy on Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky, motherfuckers. Paducah, Louisville. Let's do this shit. Do this shit. Have a great day, man. Stay black. Uncle Joey loves you.